So nothing makes me happier than finding a draft narrative that I hate coming on this channel and cleaning it up, right? Now, I know that the super draft fan will know better, but there are some casual draft fans that aren't hip to who Rashawn Slater is. This is Rashawn Slater, ladies and gentlemen. And if you were a member of my Patreon, you saw this film session about two months ago. And it was about a 40-minute long film session. So if y'all want to see these longer film sessions earlier, go to patreon.com/vochlombardiyt. Anyway, so if I were to give you a scouting report, right? And I said, hey, this is Rashawn Slater's scouting report. And you open it up, and the only thing written on it was, I whooped Chase Young, draft me. Do you draft that guy? And the answer is 100%, right? I'm looking at Rashawn Slater as the ultimate eraser, right? What I mean by that is, like, if you're a team in some division and they have a pesky right defensive end that's really good in that division, then you need a guy that can erase that right defensive end from the division. You see what I'm saying? Rashawn Slater rolled up in this game, Northwestern versus Ohio State, and he erased Chase Young, okay? Totally took him out the game. Now, does that mean, like, don't get me wrong, Ohio State still won. They still beat the hell out of Northwestern, right? But actually because Northwestern just had a little bit too much dip on the chip. But it wasn't because of Chase Young. Chase Young wasn't the reason why Northwestern lost this game here, because Rashawn Slater was effective in doing the things at eliminating Chase Young. Chase Young's going to beat you with super athleticism. He's going to beat you with arm length. He's a beast, man. Chase Young was the guy last year. But Rashawn Slater beat that, okay, with timing. He beat that with hands, precise hands, quick hands, knowing when to engage, when not to engage, when to bait, how to erase Chase Young's arm length with leverage. I'm going to get into all that a little bit later, the actual technical nuance. Come on, son, hold on, wait a minute, time out. Is this your king? Wait a minute, let's go. Is this your king, Rashawn Slater? Okay. Chase Young is your king. How he's gonna nice feet, light feet, and he's gonna say, okay, cool. The quickest route to Chase Young's chest plate is right down the middle, right? And I'm just gonna get hands there. And this is hand strength, grip strength. This is how I defeat Chase Young, because if my hands are down the middle of you at this point, then your arm length doesn't matter. Chase Young has long arms, and he makes those arms longer by turning to a side. But if I'm going to attack you down the middle and keep you square, then you lose the arm length advantage. That's nuance. And you see this all the time with guys like David Bakhtiari. You see Tyron Smith do this. You're like, man, how are you able to block this dude with one hand? Well, Chase Young isn't very strong right here. In this position, with my hand down the middle of you, you're not very strong because you don't have an established position on me, right? So how can you negotiate my block and I basically just cut you in half? You see what I'm saying? That's what Rashawn Slater does for you. Let me give you another example of how Rashawn Slater technically defeats Chase Young's arm length. Take a look at this play, right? Rashawn Slater with the short arm disadvantage, but let me show you how he beats the longer arm Chase Young. First of all, it's already hard enough to beat somebody with the arm length advantage, but then for them to be good like Chase Young is a whole nother problem. But let me just kind of show you what happened. First of all, how did he get to that point, right? You beat Chase Young's arm length advantage with a leverage advantage. So how do you get the leverage advantage? You beat first with your hands and you don't miss with them. And if you take a look at Rashawn Slater right now, he's not missing with his hands. So once he engages, it happens so fast. Once he engages, he kind of uses this push-pull technique, right? I want everybody to just extend your arms in front of you and just open your palms fresh out in front of you, right? And you see that if you extend your right shoulder, your left hand just kind of naturally comes back. And then if you extend your left arm, your right hand kind of naturally comes back. That's what happens right here, right? So what's happening is Chase Young is long arming, or he's trying to long arm with his left arm. But Rashawn Slater has the leverage advantage because he's locked in already. So what Rashawn Slater is going to do to make that left arm shorter, he's going to pull Chase Young's right shoulder. And that's going to make Chase's left arm shorter. Watch him just do this push-pull technique right here. You see him just kind of pull. You even see him kind of grab that jersey right here, right? pulling Chase in that direction makes Chase's left arm shorter, so that if your left arm is shorter, I can deal with you. You know what I mean? It's sort of like if I take a few inches off your arm, then we have similar arm lengths now. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's a very nuanced technique, man, for somebody that's in college right now. That's a Tyron Smith level move. And I should be able to stop the video right now, because if you don't love Rashawn Slater after this, then I don't know what to tell you. But here's an example of Rashawn Slater going to the second level, making blocks, great angles, great athleticism, great movement, timing, getting his hands on the linebacker, driving, finishing. And another example of Rashawn Slater getting to the next level, pretending to be a terrorist versus these linebackers here. So like, it's a lot more to his draft profile than I just beat up on Chase Young, even though that's all your draft profile need to be. But he does have great feet. He does have great hands, great movement, solid strength. I think he has NFL level strength. Does he have godly Penei Sewell strength? Nah. Godly Penei Sewell movement? No. But the tools that he has are really, really high level. And I just think the only reason that we think a certain way about Rashawn Slater is because Penei Sewell exists. But one day when we get into the ranking video, Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater's tag is going to be touching. I don't know who's going to be ranked, tackle number one, O-line number one, or whatever, but it should be an interesting conversation when we get there. And like I said, you can go to my Patreon. Like we watched film on Rashawn Slater for a long time, but this is just, he's the left tackle still. This was just some other film, right? I just pulled the Michigan State film, and I got so bored with it because he just kept beating the shot at the Michigan State kids, right? And it's interesting that if you watch film on him beating the hell out of Chase Young, then watching him beat the hell out of the Michigan kids is, I don't want to say less impressive, but it's just it becomes routine. It just becomes mundane. It's almost like he was playing with his food at this point. It just is what it is. I mean, no disrespect to the Michigan kids, but Rashawn Slater's the man, bro. It is what it is. So now, where do we draft Rashawn Slater? I mean, you draft that boy wherever you can get him at. You get him best you can get. He got beat right there. You just get him wherever you can. I think he's a top 5 level prospect. You know what I mean? We normally run into these years where we have this offensive lineman, this left tackle in particular could be the first overall pick. Like we run into those years sometimes. I think Rashawn Slater qualifies to be one of those guys. It's just that he's in this class to where quarterbacks are going to take over, and this kid from Oregon with this super high ceiling, this abnormal kid that's bigger than everybody, that moves quicker than everybody, is here too. But if the quarterbacks didn't exist and we just want to take like the highest players, Rashawn Slater may be like the third best player in the draft, like fourth or something. If we're not counting quarterbacks, he'll be top 5 somewhere, depending on how you feel about the receivers or whatever, and the tight end for that matter. But I just think Rashawn Slater is a guy that just shouldn't be disrespected because Sewell exists. And I love Penei Sewell. Go watch my Penei Sewell video. I think really highly of him, but Rashawn Slater just ain't some 15th overall pick. He just ain't some second round guy. Like, this dude is going to be an offensive lineman in the league for a long time, and I got faith in him. I believe in him. I think he's one of those dudes. Don't go in the chat box in the comment section and ask me where would I rank him amongst the tackles last year. I'm not good at that exercise, but because I have league bias sometimes, you know what I mean? But just let's not sleep on Rashawn Slater. I saw some people sleeping on Rashawn Slater. I hated it. I just had to put this video out real fast. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. If you can't get Penei Sewell and you drafting at like 8th overall or something, and you need offensive line, just go get them. Get the best player available, bro. That's all I got for y'all today, man. I ain't want to hold y'all too long, bro. I just wanted to clear up that little bit of air. I know there are a bunch of people on the Rashawn Slater train. Hop on this bandwagon. Come on, do that. But if you're not on the Rashawn Slater bandwagon, then you have indeed learned something new today. All right. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. And don't forget about the Patreon, man. Y'all hold down for the Doski Woski Peace Whiskey. Till next time. Peace.